Thank you for coming, Mr. and Mrs.
Fire! Wang Fire! This is my wife, Sapphire.
Sapphire Fire, nice to meet you.
Mr. and Mrs. Fire, your son has been enrolled here for 2 days and he's already causing problems. He's argued with his history teacher, disrupted music class, and roughed up my star pupil.
My goodness, that doesn't sound like our Kuzan.
That's what any mother would say, ma'am. Nonetheless, you're forewarned. If he acts up one more time, I'll have him sent to reform school. By which I mean the coal mines. Are we clear?
Don't you worry, Mr. Headmaster. I'll straighten this boy out something fierce. Young man, as soon as we get home, you're gonna get the punishment of a lifetime.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, next scene. In my opinion, all gold.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And I'll just jump in and say, I love this because you could have shown us the, like, you know, that would have been fun too. You could have shown Aang being like, guys, I have to tell you something. Like, we could have seen that exposition play out. And I love that you did not do that. I love that you just like immediately
smash cut.
Yeah, the smash cut. It's so funny. It makes it even funnier. It's such a great choice. I love it.
Reminiscent of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when Matthew Broderick comes in as the father.
Yeah, sure.
Like, because in your mind, you're like, there's no way these kids are going to be parents. And then it's like Matthew Broderick is like playing the father. It's somehow working. And the same thing with Sokka. Like, it's somehow working the father thing.
Yeah.
Full on Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Sokka talking about how he's going to straighten him out, something fierce. And Katara, for some reason, pregnant.
It ages her up. It ages her up.
crazy.
It makes sense. It ages her up.
wild.
It's like, well, she's got to be a full-grown adult. She's going to have a baby. Absolutely, she's a mom for sure. No, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I do want to give a special shout out to Jack DeSena for that scene because, and the animators who, like, that is a beautiful marriage of stuff because in that scene, Sokka is so angry, spittle is actually coming out of his mouth.
Don't you worry, Mr. Headmaster. I'll straighten this boy out something fierce. Young man, as soon as we get home, you're gonna get the punishment of a lifetime.
That's what I like to hear.
I swear they actually animated him like spitting with anger, and it is so funny to me. It's such an inspired
so great.
performance in voice and in animation. That is when you really realize, like, oh, it takes a village. It's wonderful. The writing and the acting, the animating.
Jack is a comedy juggernaut. Oh my
Yes,
God,
he is.
that guy.
Phenomenal.
You want to take advantage of everything he brings to the table for sure, and you absolutely did in this scene. We know now that, like, I guess what happens to you if you misbehave is that you just get sent to work in the coal mine. You just don't get a lot of reform school up. Like, there's not a lot of options. Like, you're behaving or you are working in a coal mine. So that's a little grim. But so we see the Fire family. We see Sapphire and Wang Fire, as you pointed out earlier, John, and it's beautiful. And then we go in and check in with our favorite goth couple, Zuko and May. They're watching the sunset. They're disparaging it. They're making out. And then Azula interrupts them and kind of sends May off so that she can discuss Zuko's visits to Uncle Iroh.
They're making out in front of Azula. They don't stop.
I know.
It's like Azula comes in, like, they just go back to it. Like, dude,
It's
what's
awkward.
going on? Like, we don't care
It's
about
awkward.
Azula. It's
That's so
awkward. We don't care.
Yeah.
The little sister busts into the room and ruins everything.
I constantly have to remind myself she's a younger sister. I constantly have to remind myself she's younger.
I don't get it, John. She's a younger sister.
Yeah.
We're so scared of her.
Yeah. So she's
terrifying.
like, yeah, she's terrifying. And she's like, oh, I heard you're doing this. And, you know, it's that classic trick where he's like, how'd you know? And she's like, because you just told me. Classic Azula, always playing that chess game. And
I hate her.
Yeah,
I hate her.
I mean, totally. And she's like, listen, I'm just, watch your back. Like, I'm not going to use this against you. I'm just warning you. And then we go back to the cave where Aang is just very convinced that he needs to do something to help positively influence the future of the Fire Nation. It's very, very important. He's got to find a way to help shape their future, which I guess in his case is just to host a secret dance party. You know, it's those small decisions. It's those small things that you bring to a community that really help shape it.
It's big. It's big.
Yeah. So the party is going to happen at the cave. Everybody kind of helps and does their part. Toph helps to make it into a little bit more of a dance-like setting. The students approach. Appa goes into hiding. Shout out to Appa, by the way, who I have to say does not get to do that much in this episode. He's definitely very undercover in this episode, does not have a lot going on. But shout out to him. The students, the band's playing much better this time. And then Aang is trying to get the kids to dance, and they're just so shy that he's like, well, no, look, it wasn't always like this in the Fire Nation. Look, I'll even show you some Fire Nation moves, right? So he's trying to get them to engage.
We do tease about dancing, but you think about it, it's like we all have memories of like school dances, 8th grade, high school. They're very core memories. So Aang is giving these Fire Nation kids some core memories that they're going to hold with them for the future. So now we're back at the prison tower. Zuko's trying again with Iroh, and this time he's brought in some Komodo chicken. It becomes clear that Zuko really needs to be able to confide in Uncle Iroh. Maybe now more than ever. Zuko tells Iroh that yes, he's gotten everything he spent the last 3 years dreaming about, but he's still not happy. He feels sure that the Avatar is still alive and doesn't know what to do about it. But Iroh remains silent, so Zuko busts one of his classic petulant moves and just storms off. But his heart's not really in it. I mean, he does it because he's playing it out because he's Zuko. But I don't think his heart's really in it. And then as the scene ends, we see Uncle Iroh is crying. That one tear from Iroh is like, and it makes everybody feel guilty. We're so guilty, right? But now we go back to the dance party. We go back at the dance party where Aang finally gets the kids to start dancing. And by the way, Katara doesn't seem to love Aang's dancing with Onji too much. There's a little vibe going on with Onji, and I don't even know what Onji's doing with the jerk guy. She needs to figure that out. I don't know.
Yeah.
She is cute, though.
It's an 80s trope. We don't know why these girls are with these guys.
Yeah, like what's going to say something to your guy? What's going on? And then we see some pretty sweet hip-hop moves in there. We see a lot of different men. I love seeing the one guy that's always at the club that's dancing super hard, but doesn't really know what he's doing, can't really control his body too well.
Yeah. You gotta have
it's good. It's the vibe is like, I'm with you. You're not doing good, but you're doing the best ever.
Yeah.
But you captured that guy perfectly. I love that.
Expressing himself very well for someone.
Yeah.
Just dance.
Go for it.
Dance like no one's watching. Even though in this case, everyone's watching.
Finally, like Aang ask Katara to dance, and they do this really wonderful dance. It's kind of part martial arts, part partner dancing, part capoeira. What's that? Is it
capoeira? Yeah.
Capoeira.
Good call.
Capoeira.
Bend your ear for ad-free episodes with Avatar Braving the Elements Premium.
Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts.